Well, hey, hello, how's
Yeah,
it going? Welcome to What
good.
Had Happened Was. Karen Bryant
What
with you,
happened was. Oh,
along
sorry.
with,
I was gonna do more. What had happened wasn't,
oh, okay,
but my
what
my
had
bad.
happened was.
What had happened was. Yes. She is Karen Bright, and I am Angela Overkill Hill, and we are what had happened was. I
That's
guess.
right. We're just a
I
couple
don't
of
know.
chicks, no, talking about MMA, and this
Yeah.
this on the show, we are going to talk about the fights that happened at UFC Vegas 53, where Chito Vera and Rob Font got fight of the night in the main event, and just an absolute classic fight. And
Yes.
then we will also talk to Randy Brown, Rude Boy. He's a Jamaican guy who is fighting at UFC 274, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about talking to him. He is such a old school martial artist. Like I feel
Yeah.
like he came up with The Last Dragon, like that movie.
Right.
He
Yeah.
gives me
Yeah.
Bruce Leroy vibes, like he would be part of that dojo or something. So
Yeah.
I really do enjoy talking to him. I'm excited about picking his brain on like finishing fights, on his
Hmm.
style going into this one, how he overcame his toe injury. But before we do
Yeah.
that, dude, you were there. You were there last night. Those fights.
I
Talk about
know.
sleeper cards. It's always these are the cards. I'm not surprised anymore
Yeah.
when cards like this end up being insane. But Font versus Vera, it was amazing.
Yeah. Look at this. Look
It
at
was
this.
so
Oh,
worth main event status.
oh, totally. Yeah. This fight was awesome. And yeah, like the thing about it is that Rob, had higher stats, scored more points, you know what I mean? Landed more significant punches. But obviously the damage was all on Cheeto's side.
Yes.
And, so it was really incredible how much heart, Rob was able to show in this fight. And it's not like he was ever really out of it. There were a couple times at the ends of the rounds, with 2 and 3 or whatever, where Cheeto was kind of like really pouring it on him late in the rounds, but he always came back strong. So it's really incredible to me that they were able to go those 5 rounds, and it was that competitive the whole time.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing for me, because I was paying attention to the punch count and the damage and everything, and the craziest thing to me was that there was zero damage on Cheeto Vera's face. Like, how did
Yeah,
that happen? How did all those uppercuts that he ate not amount to anything?
I don't.
Um, Dude, Rob Font, his boxing was on point,
I
but
know.
Cheeto was just putting his foot in the ground and just landing punch after punch. And then the
Yeah.
really big moments were really those kicks that he would land. He landed like a
Mhm.
side kick to his face that wobbled him. He landed a knee at one point, and then I think there was like a kind of a dipping hook that he landed
Mhm.
as well at the end of the second round, and that kind of started the momentum of Cheeto's
Yeah.
fight. If this was a 3-round fight, I think it might have been easier to score it for Rob. But
Yeah.
because of the momentum he had, you could have even given Font the last round too.
Mhm.
But the damage was just so crazy towards
Yeah.
that last round. Like it was insane how much damage he was doing compared to Font, while the punch differentials were either the same or Font was landing more. Like that blew my mind. I need to watch it again just to figure out why that happened.
Yeah. You're right. I don't understand it either. I I mean, I guess that would say that Rob's not as powerful as Cheeto, I suppose that's the story, or that Cheeto just has an incredibly durable chin and face, and that he just,
He has soft skin.
yeah, like I don't know
Flexible
what
skin.
the story is on that, but
Yeah.
it would have been tough to say Rob won when he looked like that compared to Cheeto. Like people would have freaked out, but
Oh,
you can
yes.
make the argument based on the numbers, but people, but the fight part of it definitely went to Cheeto. And yeah, I'm sure you appreciated a lot of those kicks. And he tried the right up the middle that he got Frankie with. It didn't quite work on Rob, but like you said, he landed a couple of other kinds that were great. And that was the thing, we talked to Rob a couple weeks ago on festivities, and we were talking about the length of Cheeto, and that's the thing. He's got such long arms and
Mm,
such long legs, and he knows
extendos.
how to use them. He knows how to
Yes.
use them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that a lot of time is deceptive. You look at the Diaz brothers. It would freak me out the way people would react to their punches when they almost look like they were going in slow motion.
Yeah.
But these guys, they have poles. They literally have poles attached instead of arms. And when they throw punches, they just fucking sting. They punch through the person's face
Yeah.
and they react. And you always see that difference in just sting with the Diaz brothers. You saw that with Chito last night. There was just a little more there. And the traumatized fighter in me that has been on the other end of split decisions, I was a little worried going into that fifth round for Chito because it was obvious that he was the one damaging. He was the one getting closest to finishing the fight. But if you wanted Rob Font to win, there were arguments that you could have
Yes.
made. There were definitely arguments you could have made. I didn't think that he won the fight, but there are arguments that you could have made to say that Rob was winning 1, 2, and 5. So
I agree.
it was a scary moment for me for Chito. I kept joking like, oh man, Chito's gonna be so mad when, when they score for Rob Font after the damage that he's done after like after what he's shown in the fight. But the right person won last night, and it was an incredibly thrilling fight, and I was super impressed with, above anything, Font's toughness, being able to get wobbled but still come back and throw punches as if that didn't happen. It was almost like he has the best goldfish brain. We were talking about Ted Lasso like every episode, but he has the best goldfish brain where he's dropped, he's in danger, but then he gets up and he goes 1, 2 straight down the pipe, like perfectly. So I was super impressed by that as well.
Yeah, Joe Boza has some stats here saying he ate 223 strikes and still dominated Font. If you are a New England cartel, that has to be shocking Chito to eat 223 strikes and then win 3. He's thinking he won 3 rounds in a row. So I guess maybe he's thinking 2, 3, 4. But so yeah, it was. I mean, a hell of a showing for Chito. And what's interesting, I was talking to Victor after, who works with him and trains him and calls the fights and stuff, for Spanish. And we were talking about how there was just something special about Chito. He said when they were working on The Ultimate Fighter, he and Verdum were, he was on Fabricio's team, and that they just felt that there was just something really special about this kid, that he said, yeah, we could see it. And we could tell that this kid was going to be a future champion. And even though he was really pretty raw back then, they could see it. And I thought that was really cool. And I think that's really true, that you can see it on people sometimes, you can see. And I told him, I said, not to say that he's a champion, but I remember within 30 seconds of meeting Kevin Holland, I was like, this guy's a star. Some people just have it, it's different.
Yeah, it definitely is different. Anytime I listen to Kevin Holland, I think that same thing. I'm like, man, this guy's going to be something special. He has the ability to be something special just because of how authentic he is and how entertaining he is without even trying. And Chito's one of those guys. Like, I feel like if I did speak Spanish, I would tune in every time that he's commentating and talking about fights, because he has that charisma. He has that kind of swagger about him, and he seems like a bit of a hipster too. Like, I really like his personality from what I've seen, from what I can gather. And I actually ran into him a few weeks ago at Ruka. I went out there to spar some of the girls there, and he trains up there, and he just seemed like on cloud 9. He seemed very excited about going out to fight. He's coming up. I think it was like a week before he was supposed to go out there. So he just seemed like he was in a good headspace. And that's always cool to see someone in a good headspace. And then they get to fight week and they're still in a good headspace. And then they fight. And like, oh my God, he was having fun the entire time. Like every moment, especially like in between rounds, right when the bell ring, there's a moment where he saw the damage. This is when the damage first started kind of appearing on Rob Font's face, and he stares him down, and Font stares him back down with his, like, you know, he had like a cut, I think, and a cut on his forehead, and he's staring each other down. And then Chito turns to his corner and like gives off a little evil grin. And I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
yo, he's such a maniac.
He's
such
a
cool
G.
bad
Well,
guy. Like, he's a G. Exactly. That's a
yeah,
perfect
I see him
explanation.
a lot at work, you know. I mean, so I hang out with him sometimes. When we used to all have to be on lockdown in the hotels, you know, sometimes a bunch of us would get together in somebody's room, and he was one of them. Sometimes he would bring his dog. And
Oh,
Cheeto's a character for sure, for
yes.
sure. And you're right, he has so much charisma. For people who don't know, I don't know if ESPN, excuse me. Sorry, I was trying to sip more my water. If ESPN,
You
I
were
don't know
having
if they
fun
put it.
last night.
I don't know. I
You
don't know if
like
they put it on the
that?
on YouTube or anything, but if not, go on ESPN Plus or whatever and look at the post-fight show, because Chito came on it, and like you said, he has so much charisma, because there's a couple of questions, you know, with him, like sometimes you ask him something and he's really humble and he's saying, you know, I worked really hard and I did this and I did this, and then you ask him something, he's like, come on, man. I have him up. You know what I mean? Then you're like, okay, and there's the gangster, you know. It's he's great, and it's nice to see him. His confidence is really growing, as it should. He's great. He's gonna be a problem for people. He's a big dude, you know.
Yeah, he is. He is. He has the length and he has the
Yeah.
size. And it doesn't seem like the weight cut is super hard for him. Like we saw
I don't think so.
in the 5 round fight. You know, he went all 5 rounds, didn't slow down, neither did Rob. You know, it was such an amazing fight. And you know, the heartbreaking thing about a fight like this is that the loser never gets as much credit as they deserve for the
Yeah.
performance that they put on. Like that's the heartbreaking thing about a fight like that. That fight was so epic. And it was epic because Rob did not go away. He
Right.
refused. And his technique, his game plan, everything, his adjustments even were so good every round. Like,
Yeah.
despite getting knocked down, despite getting his brain wobbled a few times, he was in there the entire fight. And you know, I hope that he gets the respect that he deserves in
Yeah.
his next fight, you know, in his career going forward. I know this was another loss on his record. He's had a few in a row, so it's a tough one because he's been fighting such great competition. And this was a coming out party for Chito because Rob Font already had that level of respect. Chito Vera just earned it, I feel like,
Yeah.
with that performance. He just earned that level where now people are going to be thinking of him as a contender.
Agreed. Yeah. So Moho Khalifa saying, yeah, Cheeto won a lot of fans that night. Can't wait to see him fight for the title.
Moho.
Yeah. I'm happy for Cheeto. I remember during his debut speaking about his daughter. So he got the victory. So amped that he got the victory. Rob's going to be back for sure. I love that too. Yeah. So yeah, very cool.
Is that what
Very
that
cool.
said? Amped?
Yeah, amped. Yeah, amped. That's cool.
I'm like,
hey,
what?
well, guess what, folks? Our guest is here, so let's welcome in Randy Brown. How are you, Randy? What's
Hey.
up? How's it going?
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up?
Nothing. Hey, can we get a little bit more light on your face?
Sure.
Yeah.
Good. Need more.
A little
Oh,
more.
a
Little more.
little
There you
more.
go. There you go. Hey,
Yeah, that's
hey.
better.
There he
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Cool. So how's it going? Folks should know that Randy is fighting Chaos Williams at UFC 274, and that, of course, goes down on May 7th down in Phoenix. So are you there yet, or are you traveling tomorrow?
No, I leave on Tuesday. I'm gonna get there on Tuesday.
Yeah, nice. So how do you feel about this matchup?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. You know, I'm fully charged up. You know, well prepared, and I'm gonna go out there and do what I do. I think it's a banger. I think that dude is dangerous as hell. I think I'm slick as hell, and a perfect fight for the fans.
Nice. Yeah, when it comes to just dangerous opponents, he's a little step up from your last guy where he has that one shot kill button, but you can still time it a little bit. You can still draw it out. You can still like do your slick stuff and counter. Are you how do you prepare for that? Like how'd you get ready for a guy like that?
Um, A guy like Chaos is I trade with some boxers. You know, the boxers I feel they throw a lot of combination punches. You know what I mean? And a guy
Mm.
like Chaos, he throws big power and a lot of combination punches. You know, so just seeing that live fire, you know what I mean, and seeing people throwing that kind of heat at you at 100 miles per hour. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so just heavy type of sparring. You know, that way I've seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Does it
And
almost
you
feel
started
like?
out. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, does it almost feel like once you get used to that speed, the speed seems slower? Like you're able to see the punch before it's thrown, that type of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just reading the body mechanics, you know what I mean? Reading his
Mm-hmm.
energy and his footwork, his positioning, and being able to play off of it before he even makes his move.
Nice.
And besides that, you know, we got the ace in the back pocket just in case.
What's that? You're not gonna tell us. You're not
Yeah.
gonna tell
I
us.
can't tell you how to ace.
I'm a DM you.
Yeah. What's ace? What's ace? Well, you started out as a boxer, though, right?
Yeah, I started out as a boxer. I was a novice Golden Glove champion, you know, for 1 year, and then the next year I moved up and I was a semifinalist, a finalist. So, you know, building, and I didn't even plan on being an MMA fighter, but you know, somehow I ended up doing jujitsu, and
Mhm.
here I am.
What was it like doing your first jiu-jitsu class after being a striker for so long?
It was crazy, man. I had like this little guy. He was about 135 pounds, and you know, just tying me up in a pretzel. You know, I was just like, oh wow, all right. So this can happen to me.
Yeah. Made you feel vulnerable, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Especially with those long limbs. I'm sure like every
Uh,
time you just reached out or
I
tried to
was
do
just
something, they're just
foiling.
like,
I just foiled every foil. I got choked with every foil.
oh man. Hey, but now you're that is your acing up your sleeve. You're over here rear naked choking people with one arm and shit. Like you're killing it on the ground now.
Yeah, man, it took a lot of work. You know, we've been grinding a lot of years. You know, and my BJJ came together nicely, and we just keep pushing. You know,
Nice,
What's
nice.
been your favorite finish so far in your career?
my favorite finish would have to be a Barbarina walk off body shot. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh.
you know, hit him with the
Nice.
in the liver and then walk away. You know, so I figured that was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That is cool. Angie's in the hunt. She's looking for one of those.
Dude, that is on the bucket list for sure. We've been working body shots for this one, especially because fighting a press grappler. You know, the press grappler, they're just like, "Ugh, give me your legs." So body
Give him a
shots
knee right in the
definitely.
solar plex, right?
Yes, the knees, the
What
body
what
shots,
makes it the
all that.
best is after you hit them, don't follow up with anything. Just walk away and just look at them. That's it.
Peace
That's the
out.
one.
Point.
Yeah.
You felt that, right? Yeah. I love it. I love it.
So when are you when you're heading down there on to Phoenix? I'm not sure, where are you training right now? You're still up on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm in New York.
Oh, okay. So are you bringing a big posse and stuff like that? Like, do you have a lot of people that travel with you? How big of a team do you take with you?
Typically, I take just my squad. You know what I mean? I take the cornermen. You know, I bring four, no, three cornermen with me, and you know, my family. You know, my family and friends. They're all flying out.
Oh, they are.
And also I got family on the West Coast. You know, I got family over there in Cali, so they're driving up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're gonna be deep. We're gonna be deep.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm
Nice.
asking because, it's been so different for people. Some people get to fight with a crowd. Some people have to fight at the apex. Some people get to bring a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Some people are out there, essentially kind of alone. So do you have a preference? Did you have any apex fights? You did, didn't you?
I did. I had two Apex fights. My
Right,
last
right.
fight was actually an Apex fight.
That's right. So what do you make of the difference between the apex and having a crowd where you're able to bring, all your people like that?
The last fight, it was just a business trip, man. We just went out there, you know, to just go get it done. So,
Yeah.
I personally rather just me and the team just going and getting it done, and I come back home. But honestly, I don't really care. It's like I'm fighting either way, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in people in front of me, you know, whether it's there's no people. Initially, it was weird because it felt like sparring. I had to make the adjustments, but
Mhm.
Mm.
after a while, it just became after the second time going in there, it was just normal.
Nice.
Mm.
And the adjustment, were you starting too slowly, you think, or something?
What was that?
When you say you needed to make adjustments for the second time, did you like find that you started too slowly fighting at the Apex because it felt like sparring?
No, not even starting slowly. It was just weird. It felt like a street fight. It felt like
Oh,
it felt like it was my team versus their team. It felt like, so if you ever been in, not that this is a good thing, right? Right? This is not a good thing by any stretch at all. But if you ever
yeah.
been in like a gym war, you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
Okay.
sometimes that happens, and like especially in boxing gyms coming up, it's like this is just a different kind of environment from
Mhm.
MMA schools. You know what I mean? So sometimes you may have this coach yelling, and your team, and you go visit a gym, and it's hostile environment.
Yeah.
You're sparring to one dude, and they're screaming, and
Yeah.
it's just different. It's not a crowd, but you're fighting. You got your headgear, you
Mhm.
got your big gloves. Yeah, essentially out doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just reminded me of that. Which I don't mind because I'm used to, but um, in an MMA setting, it was different.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay. That
mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, you can't just allow yourself to try to kill the guy. You have
Yeah,
to be a little more tactical in
Right.
MMA. And
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
meanwhile, you can hear his teammates going, fuck him out, he's fucking
Yeah.
tired. And it's like, yeah, it like pisses you up like, hey.
I even remember one
Hey, we're
time that I
fighting.
can hear his coach. I was gonna do something, and his coach said, "Watch out for that," and I was just like, "Oh, all right." Like, all right. It's just
It's
weird,
like, damn, like that was that
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah. 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 Well, and
That's
you
funny.
went down when we were in Sao Paulo. You fought a Brazilian in Sao Paulo, didn't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, that
And you
was
won,
sick.
right?
Yeah, via triangle choke. I fought
Yeah.
Warley
Right.
Alves.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, that was
Exactly. It's
funny.
like that's right. So that's kind of cool to roll into town and be the bad guy and just kind of silence the crowd.
Yeah, that was my first time experiencing the Brazilian. What does it say? I don't want to butcher it, but you're gonna die in
Oi,
Portuguese,
vai
right?
Oh
morrer.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oi,
and
vai
Vai
it
morrer.
was
morrer.
loud. It was so loud. I
Yeah.
remember I was in a bad position at one point during that fight, and
Yeah.
they were just going crazy. I couldn't even hear anything. It was just nuts. But then
That's awesome.
once I got out, I got out of the position and I was doing my thing. It just got quiet after we got to finish.
Mm-hmm.
It was just eerily quiet, and
Yeah.
that's a good feeling, just to silence the doubters and the haters. So that was cool.
I
For
think that
sure.
was the first fight that I watched of yours where I could hear your corner and
Yeah,
your cornerman, your head coach. I don't remember what his name is.
Nardu. We call him
Okay,
Sensei Nardu.
Sensei, yes, he Sensei vibes like 100%.
Yep.
He got your head right. He put you back in there. He told you what you were doing wrong, and I loved the way that he coached you. It made me want to join your gym. I was like,
Oh,
yo,
nice.
this guy's like, this
Sensei's
guy's
the man.
legit.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Unsung hero for sure. Unsung hero
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Um, I truly wish more people knew about him and knew his story and knew who he was. Because when I tell you, that man is a living samurai, and not like in a joking sense of like through and through a real life samurai. He lives the way he lives his life. Go to his house. I mean, he has soji doors and mats, and
Oh, wow.
he drinks his tea in the morning. He does zazen. He
Oh
practices
wow.
swordsmanship.
Right.
He's a
Wow.
true martial arts. He studies. Book of Five Rings. He has all the way of the samurai. He legit lives his life
Wow.
through those principles
Wow.
and
That's
trains me
cool.
through those principles. He's insane, and
Yeah.
hopefully one day people will get to see him. Because he's a man.
That's
Are there any
amazing.
other like rising fighters that you train with there? Like other names that people would know that are coming out with you?
For sure. Tanisha Tennant, and then Invicta. She
Uh-huh.
Okay.
she's she's a long, rangy striker. She can do it
Yeah.
all, but her striking is beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
She's coming up. I think she's next up. She's doing some good
Oh,
things. She's
yeah.
Invicta right now, and hopefully we see
Nice.
her in a big show soon.
Tanisha, a black girl.
I feel like I've seen
Yeah,
her fight.
Yeah.
she's the
Okay.
Did
champ.
she fight on
Right.
Contender Series?
She did. She was robbed on Contender Series. Do you remember that? And
Yeah.
everybody, even Dana was like, Dana was like, yo,
He was
I know
like,
the
I don't
internet's gonna kill
care.
me for this, but you know what? I gotta take the other girl. And they were like, what?
Really?
You know, but
Oh, I didn't see her fight. She got
Yeah.
robbed, huh?
yeah,
Well,
she's the, and I'm not just saying that because it's my teammate. You could go look it
Yeah.
up. It was like it was
Yeah.
crazy, you know. And she's the Invicta 135 champ, I believe, right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
but she's a
Nice.
beast, man. Check her out.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I was following her after that because she fought a girl that I used to train with.
Mm,
And I was very much thinking that she should have won that fight. Like
yeah,
it was bad. It was bad. It was a bad one. But it's a good lesson to learn early. You know, now she's going to be grinding harder with the finishes. You got to
absolutely.
get those finishes because that's the only way to guarantee it. Guaranteed you might not have, not guaranteed, but it was a good chance you might not have won that fight in Brazil if you didn't finish the guy, even if
Absolutely.
you did enough to win. So
Absolutely.
it's a good lesson to learn early on before you're on the big stage where it could potentially mean more winning or losing. Which brings me to a question I like to ask people. How do you get your mind around finishing a fight? What do you have, like a routine? Do you have something that you feel like works better for you some fight camps and doesn't work others? Or is there anything that you do specifically that helps you finish fights in your head?
Um, well, I have a ton of finishes, so it's a question that
Yeah.
people always ask me, which is weird, but
Oh,
I
okay.
never
I just
go and
started
look.
asking people, but like, yeah, I
People,
feel
no,
like
no,
I
no.
should
I'm
have
not
been
saying
doing
it's
this a
weird for
long
you. I'm
time
just
ago.
saying it's weird.
Yeah.
My answer's about to be weird. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
okay.
Um, I I never really look for finishes. It just happens
Okay.
to just come to me, and the reason why I feel like I do get finishes is because I never really look to win a fight per se. Like I'm going in there to win on and play the game of fighting. You know, when I fight,
Mm,
I just implement my technique. You know, I'm just implementing whatever my teacher taught me. And if I'm able to implement the technique and if I do it right, that person shouldn't be in front of me standing or he should be hurt, right?
mm,
So I just keep doing my techniques. And I think ultimately you get the finish that way. So I just keep whenever it is, I'm just constantly thinking pain. I gotta hurt this person with this technique. What's next? All right, try to do this technique, do that technique,
Mhm.
set up this technique, you know? And that's how I really approach it. That's how I think about it when I'm in there. It's a little unique, but I think that's how I end up getting finishes. You know, sometimes I think when you try to compete with somebody and make it and it's like you're thinking about it as a competitive thing, then it's
mm,
a back and forth, you know, when it's like
mhm.
if I if I if I execute this thing that I was taught to do, you know, this specific move, it's executed well, you shouldn't be there. You know, you should be finished. So that's how I
So
I
see it.
like
that
that.
seems like you fight without much emotion then too. It makes it
No,
sound very methodical, which is a good thing.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, that and that makes sense. It's not weird because you know, a lot of people or a lot of coaches will say put on a clinic. They won't say try to take this guy out. They say
Mm,
put on a clinic. And some people might think of that as like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm just hitting them, I'm just schooling them. But other when you say hurt this person, pain with the technique, like create as much pain as possible with this technique that I'm trying to execute, that makes sense when it comes to finishing opponents. Like that
absolutely.
definitely rings in my head like, okay, that's definitely something
Yeah.
to focus on. So
It's all about
interesting.
execution. All about
Yeah,
execution. You
very
know, if you
interesting.
execute this person, the techniques essentially are killing techniques per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
I execute, you know, he's another trained professional, so he should be able to stop some of the things, you know, defensively because he's trained to
Right.
stop them defensively. But if I execute the right way, there's no reason this person should be standing in front of me still, you
Yeah.
know? And even if I'm in a bad position, I'm constantly thinking pain, not per se winning.
Mm.
How do I hurt this person as much as possible in order for me to win? And that's how I get finishes.
Nice,
Nice.
nice, nice. Well, this person here, Black Iron Badger saying Rude Boy versus Chaos sounds wild. Randy significantly more skilled, in my opinion. Just got to avoid that power. So, yeah, I mean, what do you find the biggest threat is from Chaos?
I think he hit the nail on the head. You know, it's that
Yeah,
power. You know,
yeah,
he has that great equalizer. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
he touches
yeah.
people and people go down. You know, so I think that's what I have to avoid. Avoid getting clocked,
Yeah,
with something big, not something clean. We're gonna get hit. It's a fight,
of
but
course.
just gotta watch out with don't let him hit me with anything too flush. I get caught slipping. But yeah, if
Mhm.
I can avoid
Nice.
that power, I truly believe I can do whatever I want.
Nice. Well, this one's saying this is going to be a crazy fight, but I think Randy can win that fight after seeing your last performance. So, yeah, you got to be feeling good, putting a couple few together in a row. And this is a question for you here. Tom Club 123 asking, who's your favorite fighter right now
Who's my
besides
favorite
yourself?
fighter right now?
Yeah.
Probably Adesanya. I like his style.
Nice.
I like the way he fights. He for a long, lanky guy like myself, he puts it together the right way. I draw a ton of inspiration from that dude too. He's the man.
Nice, nice. Is
Nice.
there a fight or a move that he does that you like, or like any part of his style?
Um, just all of it. The way he puts it together is nice. There's
Mm.
not only him. There's so many other guys like John Jones. I like the
Mhm.
lanky black dudes, man.
Yeah,
Anderson Silva. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They
Yeah.
they know how to put it together.
Yeah,
But
nice.
as of late, Adesanya does it. He knows how to do it, man, and I admire his style.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I
For
feel like
sure.
if I could still make Adam wait, that would be my go-to. The
Right.
lanky ones, the lanky people.
Mojo Khalifa's asking, I wonder if it's more stressful being part of a huge card like this one. Yeah, I mean, it sort of kind of goes along with the crowd thing I was asking before, but yeah, there are 2 title fights on this one. There's a lot more eyeballs. I mean, like when they call for these big cards like that, are you extra amped for that, or is that sometimes would you prefer to be on like the kind of cards like we had last night, a sleeper card?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. I used to like being on the smaller cards more.
Okay.
The reason for that is it's easier to get a bonus,
Yeah.
right? It's easier to get a
Yeah.
bonus on the smaller cards. And
That's
then I
true.
had a conversation with my boy, shout out Wells, and I told him that same thing, and he was like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Like, why you should love being on these big cards. This is the cards you want to go out there and stand out. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who else is on the card. Getting bonuses. If you can go out there and get a bonus on those cards with the Giants,
Yeah.
compete with them. Show them that you're here. Stand out. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the mindset you should have. And I remember that was like when I first got a fight. I think it was against Oliveira, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh man, I don't really like these big cards because it kind of just you get drowned out a little bit. No matter what I
Yeah.
do, if one of these dudes get a KO, it's over.
Right.
They're gonna get the
Yeah.
bonus. And he was just like, nah. He kind of just got on my ass. It was like, nah, bro, what are you talking about? He was like, you're that guy. You know what I mean? Like, go in
Yeah.
there and show them, like, yo, all right, if you can stand out amongst giants, then you know where you're at. We know who you
Mhm.
are, and you know what you're capable of. So go in there and compete. All right.
Nice.
So that changed my whole mindset after having that conversation with him. You know what I mean? And that
That's
same
cool.
card, that's when I choked Oliveira with one hand.
Nice.
And
So
Well, there
I
you
don't
go.
know if I
Statement
told you
made.
this. I don't think I talked to you since then, but I was talking to my wrestling slash jiu-jitsu coach, and we were debating on whether or not that was a good choke to like learn to do. Because I was like, oh, I could probably like just do it here, right? And he's like, well, it's not high percentage, so blah blah blah. And then that weekend, you got
Oh
that choke,
no.
and I was so happy. I sent him a text. It was like me and my other training partner. We sent him a text. We were like,
oh man. Oh, that's funny.
what you had to say now. So thank you for
That's
letting me
funny.
rub that in his face. It
I
was a
got you.
very,
I got you,
yeah,
man.
it was a great moment. I was so happy that happened the same weekend that we had that discussion.
Man, it with that choke is so funny. It's literally just the way you rotate. If you can catch
Mm,
his shoulder and then
right.
you don't pull straight back, and it's not your typical squeeze. It's more of just a rotation of your torso and popping your hips.
Okay.
And then the pressure is tremendous from there.
And then the
Nice.
rotation, that's kind of how you slip under that chin,
Yep.
even if they're trying hard to do it, because you rotate. So it's almost like slicing that neck open.
Yep.
You're able to get that little skinny arm in there. And it
That's what it
helps being
is.
lanky, man.
It
It's
does
the
help. It does
lankiness.
help.
Are you this is a question here asking if you want to get some of your losses back, like the Nico Price fight. What do you think
Man.
about? Do you think about avenging losses? Do you already have a hit list of just, once that's already in the rearview mirror, you're not going to worry about it?
Um, I'd be lying if I told you I wouldn't want to get him back.
Yeah, that
I'd
was
be
a
lying.
weird one. Yeah.
But as I mature and as I get older in the game, um, I realize that styles make fights, and I realize that not everything is perfect. You're never always gonna be, you know, what you are in the gym. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go out there and things are circumstantial. You know what I mean? So, and not always the better fighter doesn't always win. You know what I mean? It happens, right? It's who shows up that night. So, um, with Nico, I kind of let him go. I kind of let go of it. I was just like, at this point in my career, if you've been following me, you know what it is, man. You know what I mean? If you've been following me, go back watch that fight. You know what it is. I don't
Yeah.
even have to speak on it. But a fight that a loss that I would love to get back is the Luke.
Yeah.
There was a lot of circumstantial things that happened, and I don't want to
Yeah.
take anything from Luke. Luke is a tremendous athlete. He's a
Yeah, he is.
top tier, top notch fighter. But I know where I'm at, I know where I stand amongst guys like that. And I know, the weight cut and everything was rough. I messed up a lot of stuff. I did some rookie stuff. And it's part of the game, it's part of learning, and it happens.
What did you think of Bilal beating him?
I called it.
Did you?
I had Bilal picked. I thought Bilal fought such a beautiful fight. I thought he fought, really smart. But that's what Bilal does. He's very smart. He's very cerebral with his approach when it comes to fighting. I think he has some of the best fight IQ in the game. And he fought a smart fight and got it done. So shout out to him.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you were saying with the gym fight kind of mentality. He never seems to have that. He's
No.
always very focused on the game plan, very focused on this is going to lead to this, which is going to lead to this, which is going to lead to winning the round. And that's the
Absolutely.
most impressive part of, I guess, Bilal's streak that he's been able to maintain. But with you're coming up on, you have a 2-fight win streak. So this win, does it ever make you nervous once you get some momentum? Because I know that's fucked with me a little bit mentally. I get some momentum, then I almost get afraid of losing it. It's like when you get a kill streak going, you're like, shit. Now you're like hiding behind, you're like hiding in the corner.
Right. You just want to save it. You got to preserve it.
Yeah, you got to preserve it. You want to be at the top of the list. Does that ever get to you getting ready for a fight?
I try not to think about it. Someone brought it up to my attention in a previous interview that I did, and they were just like, "Hey, Randy, if you notice, you've never hit that 3-fight win streak. You've always been like struggling, And I was just like,
"That's right."
I was like,
thanks, bro.
I was like, "Oh, thanks for that." Right? I didn't know. He was like, "But then he was like, but you've never lost 2 in a row. You always come back better." And I'm like, yeah, that's true. He realized and he tried to like cover it up. But I was like, all right. But for me, it was like, I don't really think about it much. It's like, that's just the cards I was dealt. And like I said to you just a while ago, it's like styles make fights. I know where and who I am and where I'm headed. My team knows, everyone that I train with, I'm well respected amongst all my peers and everyone that I train with. People know what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I get in there, I've made my mistakes. It happens, right? And I try not to think about the streak. I just focus on the person in front of me. And I know that if on my best night, ain't none of them, these dudes touching me on my best night. So that just is what it is.
Do you see anybody that can take out Kamaru yet?
Let's see anyone that can take out Kamaru right now.
Yeah.
In the top 5 guys that can actually get a shot.
Yeah. Who do you think? I mean, because he seems like he's going to be there for a minute still.
But the guys who can actually, not anyone that can actually get a shot right now. Maybe guys who are not there yet, who are working their way up through the rankings in the future. But right now, I don't see any of the guys in the immediate top 5 that could touch him right now.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, somebody here is asking what your opinion is on Oliveira versus Gaethje. Who do you like, since that is the same card that you're on?
I'm a little biased. I like Oliveira, man. I like Oliveira. I like his story. His story resonates with me.
I'm a huge Oliveira fan.
Me too.
Like I'm like
It's
huge
a
Oliveira
pure
Man,
fandom rubbed
it's
off
a good
on
dude,
me,
man.
Karyn.
It's
Yeah.
such a good
Did it?
dude.
Because I have
No,
loved that dude for years.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man, he's such a good dude. And
yeah.
it's something about, guys like him, guys like Dustin Poirier,
Mhm.
guys that have been around. Because it's funny, it's easy for you to, when you take a couple losses early in your career, it's easy. I've seen it. I've seen guys that were really good and then they just get discouraged. They get beat down by media. They get beat down by
Mhm.
fans. They just get beat down by, and then they start to doubt themselves and they're like, damn, like I'm really not that guy that I thought I was, coming into this. And then they don't really change and they just fall back and then they start to lose and they just fizzle out. Then there's the guys like Oliveira,
Charles.
Charles
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliveira. There's the guys like Dustin Poirier, right? Those are the guys who are like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. All right. I'm gonna just pick myself back up and
Yep.
I'm never gonna be discouraged and I'm gonna get right back to it and I'm gonna show you. And I just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding. Next thing you know, they're world champions.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I mean?
true. It's
Next thing you
great.
know, they're
It's
still, no matter what, they may lose, they may stumble, but they never wavered.
Mhm.
Their resolve from the beginning never wavered, and that's so important.
mhm.
Not wavering your resolve, and that's what I love about dudes like that. Because a lot of guys in that same position would have folded early because of the pressure, and then mentally they would have just broke. But guys
Yeah.
like Oliveira, nah, he's kept going, he's kept staying strong. Next thing you know, he's on a 9-10 fight streak.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's a champ. I love it. So
Love
shout
it.
out to him for
It's so
that.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
It's a scary fight though, but
It is.
you have to think that at this point, Oliveira has just seen every wrinkle, every type of opponent that he could possibly see. And that's why I always feel like even when he's the underdog, and he's been an underdog in his last two title fights, but
Mhm.
even when he's the underdog, I always feel like he's gonna find a way. And he's been able to do it so far. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a little biased for Oliveira too, but I do think Gaethje is also a good guy. I think he's
Yeah, he's great.
destroyer
He
of
is.
worlds. Like
He is.
he's a
Bad boy.
madman, which I do. I love
Yeah.
the insane fighters, like just the savages, like the people just love brutality. So man, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, he's pure entertainment. Like
He
Yeah.
is.
and we talked to him on UFC Live on Friday, and yeah, he's very focused. He knows it's his. He said, look, it's basically my last chance. I'm just gonna go there and like basically like a punch a hole through his face type thing, and so he's definitely ready to go. And yeah,
I
Justin's
believe him.
totally just pure entertainment, so
He puts it all on
uh
the line and he sacrifices his body for us, the
yeah,
fans. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And he's a special fighter for sure. He's
for
definitely a
sure.
special guy. So I'm excited for that matchup. I'm gonna definitely, after my fight, I'll be pulling up a chair and
Yeah,
just
heck
chilling
yeah.
watching that fight for
Popcorn.
sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
may
Little
the best
drink.
man win. For sure. It's funny. So, Randy, it comes out every now and then in certain words that you say that you are Jamaican. You and I have talked about this before, how my mom is Jamaican as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you had two Jamaican parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you actually then grew up there part of the time
Yeah.
or what?
My mom's Jamaican, my dad's Jamaican, and I grew up in Jamaica from about 1.5 to I think 17 or 16.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
so
Jamaican.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then I
You're not
traveled
like
back and
one of
forth
those
a
New
lot.
York
I went
Jamaicans.
to high
Yeah.
school, most of my high
Okay.
school, elementary, primary school, all that stuff, Jamaica. And
Nice.
people
Wow.
always ask me, "Oh, you don't have an accent," but I switch it on and off
I
depending
can
on who
hear
I'm
it.
talking
Yeah.
to. You know.
I
Yeah.
can hear it. Well, because I can hear it too. It's like when
Exactly.
my mom's comes out sometimes, and it depends on certain words, and it depends on who she's around.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
exactly. You know how
And
it
all
is.
the R words. I'm like, where you
Yeah,
from?
my girl always laughs at me like the certain things I say, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Come on, you know what I mean? Like, stop playing with
Yeah,
me."
yeah, yeah. Everybody saying stand
Hey.
up. Hey, so yeah, so where in Jamaica where are you from? Or are you from? Where like what
Well,
part?
I grew up in Old Harbor. I went to Old Harbor. That's St. Catherine, right?
Okay.
And then I moved from St. Catherine. I moved from Old Harbor to Spanish Town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Spanish Town is
Gotcha.
more in like the city area, almost a country.
Right. Well, so what do you make of Aljo being champ too now? Because and there's like 4 or 5 Jamaican people on the roster now, right?
Yes, we are here, man. We're here. Aljo representing. He's holding it down, representing.
Yeah.
Um, with Aljo, I love his story. You know what I love? I love the fact that no matter what, he was another guy that just unwavered,
Mhm.
you know. And at first, I wasn't a fan of how he dealt with everything. Like
Yeah.
leading, I would have been like, I would have just got quiet. For me personally, I would have just been
Yeah.
like, all right. But he was like going face to face. He met the fire, he faced the fire and was
Yeah.
back and forth with fans and trolls and shit like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it. I would have just disappeared and just went into the lab. And when I came back, won, and then I would just talk the slew of shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But
That's funny.
he faced everybody right through and
Yeah.
through, because he knew, that he was the better fighter. He got it
Yeah.
done. Even through the controversy, I personally thought he won. But
Mhm.
we got one. Jamaica, we got one,
Yeah.
and much more to come. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got to talk to him afterwards, and the way he explained it, he was like he wasn't going to let people that he didn't know bully him off of his phone, which was something that he loved to be on. So
Yeah.
I thought that was
Okay.
I
That
thought
makes
that was
sense.
like fair enough. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck those
that
guys.
makes
Like, be
sense,
on your
actually.
phone.
If it's his hobby or his toy, yeah, let him have it.
Yeah.
Like, why are you gonna let them take it away from you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've
True.
definitely been in situations where I had to put my phone down so I could focus on my fight, and I'd be pissed because I'm like, oh, I wonder if people like my selfie. Oh, that's right, I'm not on my phone right now because everyone's
Right.
like being an asshole, and
That's
it
right.
sucks. Like it pisses you off. So I thought that was really interesting that he dealt with it that way. But
Yeah.
I'm like you too. I would rather just put it away. I play some
Mhm.
video games or something, go like work in the lab, like grind, like really and it is a good motivator to just focus on what you want to do and how you want to do it. And usually it ends up paying off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of more like you in that situation. But I was happy for Aljo. I was happy
Yeah.
he was able to shut everyone up.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Angie, you just mentioned video games. Brandy, we are on Twitch as well right now. So are you a gamer?
I am a gamer. I am. I'm a low key gamer, man. The thing is, I'm on Twitch, but when I'm on Twitch, I usually, I don't know if you guys know, I do a show but I do my show on Twitch, right?
Oh,
So I'm
cool.
mostly on Twitch
Okay.
doing the show, but I stream usually. If any of my chatters are in here, every Wednesday, they'll maybe attest to that. Well, not attest to
Uh-huh.
me. They maybe go against that because I'm like every Wednesday I'm supposed to stream, but I don't stream. But I mostly like to game by myself, man. When I game, I
Yeah.
don't want to have to entertain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to. When I'm gaming, I'd rather just be with my friends with my headset on,
Mhm.
and we're just doing our thing, or I'm just focused in my zone, just relaxing after training. It's just me.
Yeah.
But sometimes on Wednesdays I may throw on a game stream for them. But mostly when I'm on
Nice.
Twitch, I'm doing like the show.
Yeah.
And
No,
what
that's
game are you
kind of what
playing?
I did too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know what games are you playing right now?
Oh, I play a lot of games. So right now, before I got on here, I was playing Alien Isolation.
Oh
You know?
no, that's so scary.
I play the most random game. I'm like a gamer. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I just play Call of Duty like everybody.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll find a game. I will take my time and search for a fun game to play, and I'll sit there by myself and I'll just binge it till it's done.
Nice. So, are you liking it? Are you liking Alien Isolation?
I like it. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's
What's the point of it? Dare I ask?
Have you seen the movie Alien?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play as the lady that's
Oh, you're Ripley.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm Ripley.
Oh,
Exactly.
cool.
That's her
Okay.
name, Ripley. And yeah, I'm just trying to survive, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. All right.
I
That sounds
played
cool.
it once and I put it down. I was like, I can't take it.
Oh,
I
really? It's
got
too
attacked.
stressful?
I got attacked by some aliens. I was like, fuck this. Yeah. I'm like all creeping around for a good hour. I was like creeping around. I think I got the hang of this. And then I died.
Man,
I was
I
over.
just started it this morning, so I'm not very far in yet, but
Okay.
we'll see.
Did you jump on Elden Ring yet?
Nah, I haven't played Elder Ring. The
Okay.
MMOs with the swords and stuff. I just like shooters. I like shooters, and
Okay.
I like story mode games. Where you got to tell stories that change the outcome depending on your decision. So you have to make the
Okay.
decision, and
Ah,
the decision that you make, it it affects the way the whole storyline plays out and different
right.
relationships with different characters and stuff like that.
So what's your favorite game that you've played recently?
My favorite game, um, Destroy All Humans.
Ah, wait.
I think my daughter plays that game.
It's
Yeah,
a little
wait, let me hear
cartoony
it.
guy with a little
Yeah, I
alien.
think. Yeah, I know that. I'm
His
pretty
name
sure
is
she plays that
Crypto.
one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she plays that one.
Yeah, that's a
Nice.
fun one. I binged that for about 3 days.
Oh
Finished
yeah.
Nice.
it. So that was a fun one.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I've heard this one.
It's a
Yeah, it
little
looks
green
fun.
guy, and you go around in a
Yeah.
spaceship, and it's just relaxing. So
Yeah.
if I'm like in fight camp, I
just
don't want to be. Sometimes we jump on Call of Duty or Rainbow Six with all my friends, and it's
Okay.
critical. It's
Yes.
critical. Like you gotta, everyone's like, all right, picking
Super
this
tense.
character. You gotta
Right.
secure the room. You gotta do this and that, and
Yeah.
everybody's going 100 miles per hour. We arguing, and it's like it's just crazy. It's crazy, and we
Yeah.
gotta win this match. And sometimes I just don't want to do that. So sometimes
Yeah.
I just want to relax my brain and just play Kill All Humans, and I just go run around shooting shit up.
Yeah. We're playing a fun one right now called Outriders, and it's kind
Ah,
of like that. Have you played that one before?
yeah, I
It's
played that. Me and my older brother used to play that one. That was cool.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's a fun co-op game. You're just
Hmm.
like running around shooting aliens and
Upgrade your guns and all that,
yes,
right?
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I'm so addicted to that type of game. Like, oh, I'm gonna go upgrade
That's
it
a
and put
fun
this
one.
mod on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good gun.
Different helmets, different levels and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, man, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, there he is right there, man.
There's Adam.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Well, I think you would be good at like the Souls games like Elden Ring because it's all about timing. So at first you're getting killed by these monsters, but then you start to figure out the patterns and you just have to like jump back and hit them and you
Yeah,
yeah, and then you kill them and then it gets easier and easier. So I feel like just because you're a counter striker, I feel like you'd be pretty good at it. So
maybe,
food for
maybe.
thought, maybe after camp where you like, don't have too much stress going on because it is very stressful. But
See, I'm trying to avoid when I'm in camp. I'm trying to avoid the stress, man. I'm trying to avoid
yeah,
it. I just want to just
Nice.
no. There's no nothing on the line. You know what I mean? Like Fall Guys. I play Fall Guys with my girls
oh,
sometimes. You know what
Fall
I mean?
Guys is
It's
fun.
just fun. You know?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a lot of fun too.
Someone was asking, what was the alien one get called again? Alien what?
Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Isolation. Got it. Hey, so if you weren't a fighter though, or are there any other sports you're really good at, or is like do you have any other hobbies that are or like are you great at playing baseball too or something,
Sports wise
Yeah.
or just anything.
Anything.
Sports wise, I combat sports. I would have boxed.
Yeah.
I played maybe soccer.
Yeah.
Play a little bit of soccer. Or football as we called
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Um, as far as outside of fighting, outside of combat sports in general,
Yeah.
I ride four-wheelers,
Okay.
and in New York it's
Ah.
kind of like in New York I know it's like it's regular here, but to the rest of the world everybody's like, oh, you're on the street with a quad, it's like, but it's just bike life, man. Bike life in New York City is huge, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
you catch me wheeling down the block, down
Wow.
catch me wheeling on 42nd or something like that.
Nice.
Please be careful.
Yeah.
I will.
Nice.
That's crazy. Well,
But-
cool. Well, listen, I think are you the featured prelim? Right? So that's always a good spot. They always know that fight delivers because that's the last one to get everybody. That's the advertisement to get people to go buy the pay-per-view. So they know that those two people are going to show out usually. They expect finishes in that one. They expect like crackerjack fights on that one. So that's definitely a good sign that you should feel good about being put in that spot.
Absolutely. They say that's the second most important spot, right? That's what they say. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I'm looking forward
I
to
love
going
it.
out there, do what we do.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, I
Yes.
cannot wait to see what that ace up your sleeve
I know.
is. I'm so excited about your fight. I know, like, when you go out there, it's gonna be spectacular, and you're gonna be slick. You're gonna. I'm always taking notes when I watch you fight, so I'm very
I
excited to watch
appreciate
it.
that. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes. All
I
right,
appreciate
rude
that.
boy. Right? Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us. Yeah, and best of luck.
All right, no problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Cool. All right,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
see
see you
ya.
soon.
All right,
Can't
take
wait.
care.
Bye. What a good dude.
Yeah, he's
He
awesome.
can scrap. That guy can scrap.
I know, and he doesn't talk like he can scrap. Like, I mean, he does. You can see a little bit of the swagger, a little bit of like the confidence, but it's quiet confidence. It's
Right.
very unassuming. Yeah,
Right.
like yeah, he is a killer. If you haven't seen his fights, go and check out like the last 4 or 5. Like
Yeah.
he's a phenomenal. He can do everything. Like you look at him, he looks like a striker, but if you get
Yeah.
him on the ground, you better watch your neck. You better watch your arms and legs. Like he's gonna snatch up something. It's really cool to watch.
It's kind of like what we were saying with Chito. He knows how to use the length too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, he knows how to use the length on the feet and on the ground. I always go back to that Warley Alves fight, and I'm just like, man, he snatched that. It was a triangle, I believe. He snatched it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you could tell that everyone was assuming that he wouldn't have an advantage on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's the coolest thing about him, is that he's dangerous everywhere. He's dangerous on moving backwards, moving forwards, on his back, on his feet. Like he really is somebody to watch.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I have some other clips from the main card last night. If you want to talk about some of those, we could talk about a couple of those, or we could just kind of chit chat. I mean, I know, Rose and Carla are obviously have a rematch coming. So there's what?
Can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be great. Now, I do enjoy watching the strawweight scrap, because I feel like we are the best female weight class in the UFC. I know I'm a little biased, but we're the deepest. Yeah, we're the deepest. We have the most craziness when it comes to who could win at any given moment. We have, I feel like, the cleanest skill. When you see the striking specialist, when you see someone who's a specialist on the ground, they are a specialist. Like there's no extra there, just because we're the smaller weight class. So we have to be on our P's and Q's when we're in the gym. So that's what you see when we fight each other. A sweep isn't going to work on a big fat person
when you're that small, right?
Yeah, when you're that small, if the technique isn't perfect. So I do feel like we are the most technical weight class because of our size and the fact that there aren't that many little people in the gym usually. But I am excited about Carla Rose. I think Carla did a great job of earning this fight, earning the chance to get back to the top. She just took out everyone, and she did it in a way that was super dominant, reminiscent of when she was in Invicta. Like people kind of forgot that Carla was that bitch who will take you down, and there's nothing you could do about it. Like, I think people forgot once Tatiana Suarez came on the scene. We already have one. We have Carla.
Right.
And, I think she, lost a little momentum once she lost the belt. Had a couple of close losses that could have gone her way, but she was able to just start putting on performances that were super dominant, and now she's a force to be reckoned with. So I am excited to see what Carla does with this newfound confidence, what she does with this fight, because she hasn't lost to Rose. She lost to Joanna, so now she's going to get to fight Rose again. And when she fought Rose the first time on the Tough finale many years ago, she was able to break her. So that's going to be an interesting part of that too. Will Rose break under that pressure again? Because it seems like Carla's pressure is worse than it was when she broke Rose previously. Like, it seems like Carla is like just a monster right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see if she's going to be able to get in and get to a point where she can use that pressure, because we all know Rose has that knockout power. She has that slickness that kind of Randy Brown has, where she can sneak a kick up there that you don't see. She can sneak a punch in there that you don't see. She has good lateral movement. She has grappling. She has submission. So it really is a stylistic matchup.
And I think for Carla, the respect on her name started to come when she developed her striking more, because before, really, that was the thing, is everybody knew her wrestling was so good, but that was the critique, was that, oh, she's just going to try to blanket you, you know. And then she developed her striking game more, and it became more of a threat all around. And like you said, yeah, put on these great performances and has earned her way back. And, you know, I don't know that she, I think Rose now has that ownership of the title, and I don't know that I feel like she'll be, I don't want to say, I mean, I feel like she's really hard to beat as a champion. I mean, obviously she is, but
yeah, but look at her Whaley fight. You know,
Yeah.
Whaley was not really known for her wrestling, and she came and wrestled the fuck out of
Yeah.
Rose in that
Yeah.
fight. You know, it was a very close fight. I thought Rose did enough to win, if you count damage, but if you're a judge
Yeah.
that's looking on takedowns and ground control, you could have scored that fight for Whaley, the second one. So I know Carla's gonna be going in with a similar game plan. Get her
Yeah.
thinking about the strikes, go for the takedown. And then from there, like, if you can get Rose to the ground, and if you can beat her, like, just get a couple of steps before her on the ground, there's a good chance you could take her back. Like, Whaley took Rose Namajunas back. I don't think anyone saw that in the cards in that second fight.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it should be interesting.
I'm just saying, it's like, I'm sure Rose will be the favorite, but there are very clear avenues for Carla to win. It's just
although then it becomes wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, because Rose is still good at jiu-jitsu.
But Carla is a good jiu-jitsu girl herself.
Yeah.
Just because she doesn't claim like jiu-jitsu as her background.
Right. She didn't talk about it a lot,
she does say that jiu-jitsu is like her favorite thing in MMA.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so like, she does have the transitions. She does have the follow through to like take someone's back to get a submission.
Yeah.
She submitted Rose in their last fight. She is a grappler. But
Yeah.
a lot of times you don't see people's grappling on display when they can't wrestle. So Carla has both, and that's what makes her a bit more of a threat, where I think Rose is content to go to the ground. She does have a few takedowns on her, like, you know, in her highlight reels or whatever, but Rose is more content to go to the ground if it goes to that in order to set up a submission, than to actually force the ground in order to take them down and submit them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's ready to strike. And then if she gets taken down, oh well, I'm gonna Kimura you.
I'll do this thing out. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll figure it out once we get down there.
Once we hear, but not the transition.
Once we get down there, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna just strike, and then if we end up down there, I'll wing it.
Figures out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I got this.
with that in mind, with that grappler talk in mind, I'm gonna circle us back around to the fights that went down last night, because this one was quite the grappling, scrappy fight. Gordon versus Dawson. Jared Gordon had never been submitted in his MMA career.
Yeah, this one was I'm trying to remember what happened.
So Grant Dawson submitted him. He got a 3rd round rear naked choke.
Okay. Oh, this was the one where he kept getting that body triangle. Look at that. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Someone who's willing to go to the ground.
Yeah.
He just kind of fell backwards, like, oh, we're on the ground. Okay, well, cool. But this guy was so good at getting on top and transitioning to the back and getting that body triangle, right? This was the same fight. Getting that body triangle and just really draining the life out of the person. And poor Gordon, he just had to sit there and take it. And he is an ace on the ground himself. So that
I know, he's really good.
like how good he is with that body triangle. Like he just
Yeah.
goes in there, he gets it, and then you're stuck for a whole round. And he
Yeah.
really just drained the life out of him to the point where he couldn't defend the rear naked anymore. He had like maybe a minute left, I think, in that round before he finally got the choke. So it was inevitable. The position was so strong. And I think Dominic was mentioned that Aljo did the same thing. Aljo
Yeah.
did the same thing in his fight versus Piotr Jan. So
Mhm.
it's a really powerful position, especially if you want to ride out the clock, especially if you just want to hunt for that neck the entire round. Like it's a
Yeah.
great position to be in, and
Yeah.
you're pretty much safe because the person is wasting all their energy fighting the choke and fighting to get out, and they can't really do anything to you from there, except for maybe an eye poke.
Right. Right. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. All
Yeah, it's
right.
a
Yeah.
tough
No,
one.
it was entertaining last night though. It was it was good. There was some good stuff. And speaking of like how we were talking about the featured prelim, that guy Romanov, like that huge heavyweight,
Oh
that is
yeah,
like 16-0 now, and he
the
just
insane
yeah, and I really thought he
betting
was going to snap
favorite.
Chase Sherman's arm. Like I was freaking
Oof.
out. Like I was freaking out, is like screaming, "Don't break it!" Like because
Yeah.
that just I thought it was going to snap because that dude's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. You can't be Americana and people that big. Like you get it.
No,
How do you even stop before you
I
snap?
don't know. I God,
Like it looked like
so
he was
scary.
putting it on slow and steady too, because he's so big. He didn't want to be the guy that snaps
That guy,
someone's
right? Oh
after
God,
being a thousand plus minus 1,000 favorite. Like, how are you gonna do that to that guy
yeah,
after being that much of a favorite? But that was yeah, that was a wash. He
that
just
was
went in there and did his thing. It was flawless victory, if there ever
flawless
is one in a heavyweight fight.
for sure. And then there was what do you think of this one? Your boy, speaking of our scrappy grapplers again as well, our
Oh
Darren Elkins.
yeah, okay, so damage. He was the one putting the damage on this time. He looked
Yeah.
fresh as a daisy after this fight. Yeah, this was another one. I think he got to that body lock maybe once too, but he was just on top of him the entire
Mhm.
fight, going forward. And it's kind of funny. I watched Justine versus Elimele, Justine Kish versus
Okay.
Elimele, and
Yeah.
she reminds me of his style, just very strong, very determined. Every time he grabs something, you can see that just he's not gonna let go. Like if he
Yeah.
grabs your legs, he goes and brings the legs together and then gets the takedown. And
Yeah.
it's really impressive that he's just able to drag these guys down into this dogfight of his and make them pretty much drown. Like he
Yeah.
drowns them in his own efforts. It's really impressive to watch.
It is. It is. It really is. Yeah, I was very impressed with him. And on the Grant Dawson one, he was saying, I need to get a top 15 guy because he hasn't lost in the UFC yet. His record's 18-1-1. He is good. He's formerly with James Krause. He's a Glory MMA guy, but he just recently switched to ATT. So this
Okay.
was, like his new first fight with them. And because his girlfriend, I forget what her name is, but she's a 105er. And
Oh.
he was saying that they moved over to Florida too because she needed more training partners. There weren't enough bodies at Glory, and that they were, he was saying, it's been 8 years in a row of going to the same place and having the same training partners and doing everything the same for 8 years in a row. And, just got burnt out from being in the same place like that. So
Yeah.
let me try something new. So they switched to ATT now. So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and-
I mean, he's doing well. He probably should get a top 15 guy. There's some,
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And you have to think that Missouri isn't the most destination type gym you would want to go to. ATD, there's a little more to do out there. I can't say that I only moved to San Diego for the MMA training. There's a little there are other
Yeah.
influences.
Yeah.
And Missouri is just like, oh, you're gonna go work in a steel factory, or
I'm not clamoring to go to Missouri.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so good for them. Good for them.
I've been there and I enjoyed it, but I'm not moving there.
Well, they have good barbecue, right? They have
Yeah,
there's a lot of good
yeah.
stuff over there.
I had the best Arnold Palmer of my life there. I was
Really?
driving across country, yeah, and
That's
I
iced tea and lemonade, right?
yeah, and
Okay.
it was the perfect blend at this one place. I wish I could remember the name of it,
Wow.
but it was in Missouri and it was perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't move to Missouri for an Arnold Palmer,
I'm not
but
moving there though. Sorry. Sorry,
but
brah.
yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check it out next time over.
Yeah, next time, next time,
Yeah.
next time, next time. Okay, well, hey, so I don't know if there's anything else to get to here. I don't know what this is. Somebody says asking, have we seen Punk Rock Fight Club? I have not. Is that an anime?
No.
Is that a game or an anime or I don't know what it is. I've
Punk
not seen it.
Rock Fight Club. I feel like it might be like a weird thing that if you Google it, you're gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah, no. Okay, great. Yeah, I
I'm
hope not.
scared. I'm gonna Google it.
Uh-oh.
I'm scared though.
Um,
Punk Rock Fight Club. What is this?
uh-oh. What is it?
It looks like Street Beefs, only punk rock. Is that what that
Oh,
is?
I
Is it
don't
just
know.
like a Street
Maybe.
Beefs thing? I love Street Beefs. Have you ever watched Street Beefs?
I don't think so.
It's so stupid. It's basically, you know how the UFC game has that backyard fighting
Yeah.
board?
Yeah.
That's what Street Beefs is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a backyard fighting thing. You get
Got
like
it.
guys who I guess they frame it as it's people who have beef with each other, but instead of they put down their weapons and they get in
And
the
they just
ring
fight
and
it
they put on
out.
the gloves. Yeah, and they
Right.
fight it out, and then everyone's cool afterwards. So I like the concept. And
Nice.
there are a few fighters that I'm fans of on Street Beefs. I don't remember their names, but if I see them, I'll be like, "That's my fighter." So,
Nice.
so yeah, Street Beefs is my guilty pleasure, if you
Very
will.
cool.
So I'll
Very
have to
cool.
check out Punk Rock Fight Club because it looks
Very cool.
similar, and I'm
Well, and
into
so
a little punk rock. Just a little
sorry.
bit. You're like, anyway.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just was going to
Yes.
ask you, it is May 1st and on May 14th, you're going to be smacking a bitch in the face. So it's almost time. So what's the status of your camp? Well, how you feeling? What's the thing for you to do this week as we wind down your last week here? Look at those guns. Oh my God.
I'm feeling fucking pumped. Yeah.
Yeah,
this
you look it.
card- Thank you. I'm hiding my traps right now, but they're pretty all right. It was funny
Nice.
because Adam went to corner Dwight the
Right.
other weekend, and when he came back, I no longer had boobs; they were pecs. So
Yeah, nice. He's like,
so I was like, okay, I
dang
think
it.
I'm
You
almost
missed
in
out,
shape.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gone.
See you in a few weeks.
Yeah, they'll be back one day when I get a little more body fat on me.
Nice.
But yeah, I feel dialed in. I feel ready to go, nice and in shape. My cardio feels on point. I ended my last sparring session like really positively. So
Yeah.
doing the things that we've been working on that should work on this girl in the fight and hopefully get that painful technique going, like inflict the pain to the point where she wants to
Yes.
quit. So I'm feeling good about this one. And I was joking with my friends that a lot of times as a fighter, you almost have to fake your confidence, but the confidence
sure.
is real this time. It's
Nice.
a real confidence, you know.
Good.
So I'm feeling really good about this one and ready to go. 2 weeks is gonna fly by, but
For sure.
this week we're tapering down, taking away anything crazy that could lead to getting like injuries or getting cut. My girl Jessica Penne, she was supposed to fight last night, and unfortunately her opponent got injured 2 weeks before the fight, so
Right.
they had to cancel that. So I think it's usually smart to like not spar this upcoming week and just
Yeah.
like live drills, do stuff that isn't gonna cause any too much chaos where you can't control the situation. So
Right.
yeah, just staying in shape, keeping the cardio up, and then
Yeah.
finally next weekend I can chill, rest, recover, and beat that fucking ass. Oh, I can't wait. can't wait. Karyn, I can't wait. I got to do it for you because I know you wish you could do it for a
Yes.
living.
And I'm working that night, and I'm going to
Yes.
want to be out there like beating that bitch. It's funny that, because literally right before we started doing the show, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my girl Tamra and start doing some boxing sessions with her. I literally was thinking about that right
Do
before
it.
coming on the air because I live closer to her gym now. And like, so
Yes,
now I'm
do
like,
it.
oh, wait, it's actually wouldn't even really be that hard for me to go up and train with Tam now.
Yeah.
And she's really cool. It's over at Fortune Gym. And yeah, I was literally just before I come in on the air, I was like, yeah, I need to call her. I need to go box.
Go
That
box.
is fun.
Do it. No,
yeah, it's fun. I used to box, and then I haven't in a long time, in like years. So I would like to do it again.
I started Muay Thai, like kickboxing, as a stress reliever. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even want to get like bulky, or I didn't want to like get big in shape or fight or
Yeah.
anything. I just need to relieve some stress because I was working with some bitches. Like I hated the girls I was working with.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, but I was so skinny and scrawny. I'm like, I want to stand up for myself, but they're gonna beat me up.
Yeah.
So I did it as a stress reliever, and it's so good
Yeah.
for that. Like it's just
Yeah.
eating something. It's so crazy. They have stuff like places where you can go and just break TVs with a bat.
I've done
where
that.
You can, like going to shooting ranges, like all that stuff is like good stress relievers. But I love putting my fist to something. Like I feel like that's the best one.
Yeah, tennis helps a lot of the time because you're whacking the crap out of that.
Doing the Serena noise.
Yeah. So yeah, it's true. It's cool. All right. Well, awesome. Hey, look I made us a little graphic thingy for people to know where to find us. Well, where to find the hold on a second. Where did I put it? Where to find? Hold on. Where?
Because I keep messing up. Like, let me give you something to read.
Well, I did it. Shoot. Now, where did it go? Crap. Where did? Okay, wait. So the thing is, wait, where did it go?
Well, I saw it on the preview.
Yeah, I thought I had it here. Wait, hold on. What
happened to the graphic? What happened to it? There it is. Yeah.
But yeah, so we linked to the side. So yeah, so this is where you can find us: twitch.tv Angie Overkill, youtube.com/Karyn Bryant, twitter.com/Karyn Bryant. That's where you can find us.
Good job.
So yeah. And then also the show is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio. I guess I need to make a second page. I forgot about doing it there as well.
But. Yeah, and go follow Randy Brown's Twitch account too if you're on Twitch. Let me see.
He's Touch and Go. Touch and Go
170 on Twitch.
Exactly. Cool. Awesome.
Well.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys joined us. Thank you for that. And yeah, thank you to Randy and everybody. Yeah, just have a good week and everything, try to, break through some plateaus or whatever, right?
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Make some moves. Don't put off the thing you've been putting off or something. Yeah. Break through that window. Oh, Team Overkill, Mojo Khalifa. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Sending all the good vibes. Wow. Awesome. Thank you.
I think I still have that screen grab. Somebody told me I was going to finish her in the second round. So,
awesome.
That was Mojo. Thank you. If not, thank you to the person who did that. I got to find my screen grab and then I'll thank
that's
them
awesome.
officially after the fight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, awesome. Well, yeah, we appreciate it. You guys being here and everything. And this was episode 62, which means there's 61 other ones. So there's a lot of people that you could catch up with and check them out. On YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Twitch, and Twitter.
Yes. Good job.
What? Okay. See you later.